Hey guys, so I am back with another college Q&A video. I'm gonna leave, that's a wasp. Hey, what up, man? I'm gonna pick up right where I left off in the questions last time. I really hope he doesn't come back. Okay, well then, let's get started. Alright, so the first couple questions come from Esther Cha, and she asks, how do you socialize or hang out with your friends without always going out to eat food? I love this question so much because it is such a college problem. Literally, people just sit around and they're like, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? Want to go eat? Okay. That happens way too often, and quite frankly, I don't think it's ever going to go away. So I honestly don't know. Like, just sit around, like, watch TV, watch movies. Like, you could go, if you're old enough, you could, like, go to the bars or whatever. I'm not a fan of that, but you could do that. Go to the mall, go see a movie at the mall. Like, I don't know, but generally eating seems to be the #1 pick anyway. And her other question, I don't know how to answer this, but she asks, is college overrated? Is it honestly as amazing and fun, she put that in quotes, as everyone says it is, or is it very stressful and hard? I think it really depends on why you're going to college. If you're going to college specifically to have fun, to have the best 4 years of your life or whatever, then you might, you know, be a little disappointed. It really depends on what college you go to as well. I mean, some schools are legitimately party schools. Like, that's what they're known for. That's why people go there. Whereas other ones, they actually go there for academics to actually get a, you know, a respectable degree and stuff like that. So I've already said this so many times, I don't like school. I've never really enjoyed school. I don't like learning. It's not something that I have fun doing. I don't really like the whole college atmosphere either, so I'm really not the person to ask as far as if college is as fun as people say it is. I wouldn't say that it's super, like, difficult either, but again, this is really going to depend on your academic and intellectual persona. I just created that, and what school you go to. Alright, the next few questions come from Purple Princess 12354. You almost got me there. Does the amount of AP classes you take in high school play a part in college decisions? Do you mean like admissions? Like, do they look at how many AP classes you take? I think yes. The more you take, the better you do on the tests, and the better you do in the classes, the better it's going to look. Like, if you take an AP class and do poorly in it, that's not impressive. What classes are you taking this year? It's already over with, so that's really not a very helpful question, I don't think either. Okay, are you excited about graduating from college? What do you plan to do afterwards? I walked already. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you already know I walked in commencement in June, but I am not done yet, so yay. Soccer Lover Forever 100. Studying tips, things you wish you knew as a freshman. College Talk number 9 and College Talk number 5. Just saying. Claire Chen, when do you recommend taking SAT subject tests? I don't recommend taking them at all anymore unless you need to, because apparently most schools no longer require them, which I am not bitter about at all. Ugh, I hated subject tests too. That sucks. I recommend taking them if you're going to. Taking them when it's fresh. So right when you finish taking that class, then take the subject test as soon as possible after that. The further away, even though you think you know it, your brain isn't quite as, like, rejuvenated. So as soon as possible. Bulldog 377 asks, my first semester I got a 4.0. Currently in the spring semester I might end up with a 3.0 at the lowest. Should I be worried? Also, any tips for reading long section that consist of 40 to 50 pages? Slow down, there are children. I don't know what you're so worried about, so if you get a 3.0 at the lowest semester, you'll average out to like a 3.5, right? So that's not bad. That's pretty good. I wouldn't be worried. How old are you too? If you're worried about that, I'm guessing you're like a freshman. Are you a freshman? Because, like, you've got plenty of time to raise it, but also lower it, so be careful. Also, when you're reading, when I have to read long documents, I'm more of like a skimmer. Like, get through, like, just, you don't have to read so far in detail. And I think my mom's watering her air plant. It's very loud. Okay. Karuba Malsamy. Sorry, I probably butchered that. How accurate is Rate My Professor? A lot of people, or not a lot of people, a couple people responded to this and said that it's pretty accurate, and I would agree, but you have to keep in mind though that the people who go on Rate My Professor and actually write the reviews are people who either hated the professor or people who really liked them. So you have to keep that in mind. I don't think anyone just goes in there and is like, I'm just gonna rate all my professors for funsies today. I think you have to take it all with a grain of salt, but honestly, I feel like, yeah, they are pretty accurate. I don't think I would disagree wholeheartedly with any of the like averages that I've seen. Mary H asks, when is the best time to start your college applications? What you recommend doing if you're stuck between two colleges? The best time to start your college apps would be the summer before your senior year. And what do you recommend doing if you're stuck between two colleges? Well, if you can, if it's like physically possible, to visit both campuses so that you can get an actual feel for what the environment is like there. Because if it comes down to looking at both of them on paper, if they both sound really good to you, if they both offer what you think you want, then it all comes down to which one just feels better. So if you can, I would physically go. And if you can't, I would at least try to see if you can get in touch with students who actually go there, so maybe you could get a better feel for that. And I would probably do that through actually talking to, or going to the school websites. I think there's like student things you can utilize. Miss Spanish asks, what meal plan would best suit someone who is a 15-minute walk from their campus and is full-time? I will be a transfer and I'm concerned of getting a meal plan that will make me have no one to eat with. Sad face. 4 question marks. Any advice? Okay, see, if I lived off campus, which I do live off campus, I wouldn't get a meal plan because even when I lived on campus, I didn't really eat on campus, so I'm not a huge fan of campus food, so I wouldn't even recommend that. But I don't know how your meal plan affects who you eat with, because meal plans are across campus. At least that's how mine works. You can use your dining dollars anywhere on campus, and that has nothing to do with who you would eat with. That would just have to do with you and your friends and your schedule and stuff like that. So I don't know what to say about the correlation there. Honestly, I feel like you have to get pretty used to eating by yourself when, you know, people's schedules just don't work the same. I mean, if you have different majors, if you're in different years, like, schedules just don't always work out to the point where you can eat with your friends like all the time. So honestly, it's like, if you eat by yourself, I don't feel like it's a big deal. I would never have a problem with that. So just, you know, independence, it's good. And Hipster Blisters says, adding on to that, how is the food at the college you go to? Is there a lot of variety? Does it change often? I don't even remember. It has changed since I lived on campus. I have not eaten in a dining hall since I lived on campus, so it's been over 2 years now. Apparently it's changed a little bit. I don't know if it's gotten better or not, but when I was living on campus, I didn't think the food was terrible. I mean, I ate it, well, I had to, so it really wasn't that bad. I didn't mind it. Granted, my dining hall for my college was actually one of the better ones. Some of the other ones, not so good. Faith Yako? What's the best way to politely decline an offer to be someone's roommate? I've officially committed to a school, and I was planning on doing a random roommate, but 4 people have asked me to room, and I have no real reason to deny, except for the fact I want to do a random roommate. The waiting and mystery is fun. Advice? I would literally tell them exactly that. I want a random roommate, and so I would say that. The waiting and the mystery is fun. They might be like, that's kind of weird, but honestly, like, if that is what you want, like, say that. Tell them that you want to live with someone new, you want to branch out. I mean, just, you know, like, that's a good reason. You just want to room with someone you don't know. Like, I think that's fine. That would be a good reason for me. So I would just stick with that. And if they have a problem with that, that's their problem, not yours. Kennedy Stanford asks, I was wondering if it's okay to recycle application essays. Yes, I think so, as long as it actually fits the prompt. Because I know sometimes the prompts are just slightly different, where it's like, I could make this fit, but if it doesn't fit, if it's too far of a stretch, don't do it. Because then they're going to be like, she didn't write this for us. She doesn't want it. So, you know, as long as it actually suits the prompt. Hey there fella asks, how are college people thirsty? LOL, like why do desperate? I think he meant why so desperate, but dude, I don't know. What? I don't know. Hormones, stress, freedom, take your pick. Samantha Bulchand asks, is laptop note-taking better than using notebooks/binders? Also kind of random, but how different are college guys from high school guys? Thanks, I love your videos. I feel like I've talked about both of these before. I think I did. It really depends on what you prefer. If you like typing, if you type fast, if that's better for you, then go ahead. If you want to handwrite, that works too. I have done both. I don't really prefer one over the other anymore. I used to prefer handwriting, so then I prefer it. Really, whatever you feel like doing, it works. And now our college guys differ from high school guys. I'm still looking for the answer to that one. They're older. They have more access to alcohol and other illegal substances. Well, if you're underage. So, yeah. Oh, Samantha has another question. Would you recommend staying in your hometown for university/college or moving out to a different city to go to school? I know it's subjective, but what's your opinion? I highly, highly recommend going somewhere else. Highly recommend it. I think I know people who go to community college for the first couple of years and, you know, the WASP is back. And that's fine. I mean, it definitely saves money. It's a bit easier. The classes, it's nice to get your GEs out of the way and stuff like that. But living away from home is just, it's an experience that I think everybody needs to experience. That was not as profound as it was in my head, but you get what I'm saying. Dylan asks, have you enjoyed your college experience? I guess. Honestly, I feel like it's like everything else in my life where I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. Like, I have to do it. It's going on. So, I don't know. And then, Armanian D. Gucci. No. Oh, I get it. Armani and Gucci. Okay, fancy. How often do you want to beat up your other classmates for being stupid? Have you ever cheated on an assignment/quiz/midterm? Do you like studying in your apartment or the campus library? Have you ever had a nightmare class or shitty professor? What class did you take that you found to be boring? Have you become close with any of your current or past professors? You don't have to answer all of these questions, but this is stuff people usually ask me. These are not things people usually ask me. But okay, Armani and Gucci. How often do you want to beat up your other classmates for being stupid? I don't really feel like beating other people up is something that I would ever do or want to do. But I would like to stab people with forks sometimes for their stupidity. That's why I don't say things in class, because I don't want to ask a stupid question. And when they say there's no such thing as a stupid question, that is a lie. Don't fall for that, because that is not true. There are plenty of stupid questions. And no, absolutely not. I've never cheated on an assignment, quiz, or midterm. Not that I haven't been tempted. Everyone's been tempted, but I have such a guilty conscience. I could never get away with it. I just could never do it. And I would just feel really, no, I could never do it. It goes against everything. Do you like studying in your apartment or the campus library? I don't live in an apartment anymore. I don't like studying in the library either. Starbucks is my home base. Have you ever had a nightmare class or a shitty professor? Actually, no. No. My worst classes that I've ever taken were all in high school. My college classes, I wouldn't say any of them were like terrible. All the professors I had, I mean, I had some boring ones, I had some that I couldn't really understand, but I wouldn't say any of them were just terrible. So the most recent class that I found boring was actually one that I just took last quarter, and it was hip-hop. And you're probably like, how could hip-hop be boring? That is my question too, guys. This professor, he was nice and everything, but he was so boring. It was a 3-hour class, which I actually don't really have a problem with usually. My Michael Jackson class was 3 hours a week, and I was like, this is awesome, I loved it. But this hip-hop music class was the most boring class I have ever taken. He was Australian, he was a white guy, and it was bad. It was bad. I mean, you've got to really just not not be good when you make a hip-hop music class boring. It was bad. No, I have not become close with any of my current or past professors. The one professor that I talked to a few times, actually, I had a professor this quarter. I wasn't close to him or anything, but I did talk to him a few times. He was really, really nice. And then one last quarter I talked to a few times as well, and he was really nice. So I would never say that I was like close to them or anything, but I don't know. I enjoyed talking with them. Alright, I will answer a couple more questions. So Shu-Shi Lee asks, any tips for commuters to actually have a social life? It depends. If you started off as a commuter, that is very difficult, because if you don't start on campus and like form some sort of like social base, then you kind of don't really have anything to go off of. I would say frequent the clubs, not like clubs. I mean like when there's like all the activities and stuff, like, I mean, frats and sororities if that's your thing, but like cultural clubs or volunteering or whatever, stuff like that, I would check those out, because that way at least you'll get involved in something and have people who have common interests with you. Honestly, apparently people make friends with people in their classes. I didn't know that this actually happened, but apparently it does. So maybe if you actually interact with the people in your classes, that could help you as well. And last question comes from Sweet Tart 14. Did you take in AP classes in high school? If so, did your college give you credit for them? You guys ask a lot of questions about AP classes, but yes, I've already talked about this. Yes, they give you credit for them. They only give you credit for them though if you take the AP test. You have to take the test, you have to pass the test, and depending on what number score you get, that will help you in which classes you can kind of eliminate from your GE requirements and stuff like that. So yeah, I did take some. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked it and found it helpful, and I guess I will see you guys next time. Bye!